We've been told a lie for over a century, that the smartest kid in the room is the one that has the highest test scores. But have you ever wondered why the straight A student often struggles in the real world, while the difficult kid, the one the school system couldn't quite handle, ends up leading a company or a community? The truth is, our education system was built to produce workers, not well-rounded humans. It prioritizes IQ while almost completely ignoring the very thing that predicts life success, health, and happiness: emotional intelligence. Today we're going to look at Daniel Goleman's groundbreaking research to understand why the system is failing your child and how you can wire your child's brain for a type of genius that a report card simply can't measure. If you've watched my past videos on the distracted genius or why school success doesn't always equal life success, you know that I'm passionate about one thing: reframing how we see our children's challenges. Daniel Goleman's research suggests that childhood is a critical window. It's a period where the emotional circuits for attention, impulse control, and stress recovery are literally being wired into the brain. If we leave this to chance, or worse, leave it to an incomplete education system that views emotions as a distraction from real learning, we're doing our children a massive disservice. In this video, we're going into 5 domains of EQ. We're going to stop seeing difficult behavior as a discipline problem and start seeing it as an underdeveloped social capacity. By the end of this, you'll have a roadmap to becoming an emotional coach rather than a disciplinarian. So let's jump in. Section 1, the systematic failure. Let's be honest. The traditional school system is a factory. It values compliance, memorization, and standardized output. When a child has a meltdown or struggles to sit still, the system labels them disruptive. First, let me say this is not a teacher problem, but a system problem. The reason the system is set up in this way is quite simple. Humans are predisposed to seek out simple solutions, so we make simple evaluation systems. However, human development is complex. The brain is a myriad of trillions of connections, and each thought is a cascade of networking that requires complex evaluation. Goleman argues that these complex moments aren't simple failures of character. They're disruptions of the complex factors of self-regulation. When we punish a child for an emotional outburst without teaching them the underlying skill, it's like punishing a child for not knowing how to read before we've taught them the alphabet. If your child is emotionally intense, the system might tell you they're a problem. They usually adopt a carrot and stick approach. I'm here to tell you that that child actually has high potential and social emotional capacities that just haven't been calibrated yet. They don't need more consequences. They need a mentor who will teach them the complex nuances of social interaction. So let's delve into these complexities. The first two are self-awareness and self-regulation, what I like to call the internal compass. The first 2 pillars Goleman identifies are self-awareness and self-regulation. Self-awareness is the ability to recognize a feeling as it happens. Most kids, let's be real, many adults, live in a fog of "I feel bad" or "I'm mad." To break this, we need to help them label the sensation. Instead of saying "stop yelling," try to be a mirror. Say, "I see your fists are clenched and your face is red. It looks like you're feeling frustrated because that Lego piece won't fit correctly." This moves the emotion from the reactive amygdala to the thinking prefrontal cortex. This is important because the amygdala processes information through the lens of fight, flight, or freeze responses. It's not equipped to handle the complexities of emotional discharge. This is the job of the prefrontal cortex, which applies logic to any given situation. This will help the child transition from feeling a certain way to naming the feeling. Once they can name it, they can regulate it. This is where we move away from timeouts, which often feel like a rejection, to time ins or cooling off periods. Goleman's research shows that teaching deep breathing, or the turtle technique, isn't soft, it's biological engineering. You are teaching a child's nervous system how to recover from a stress response. And this leads us to section 3, motivation and the grit fallacy. The third pillar is motivation, but not the kind of motivation that comes from a gold star or a grade. Goleman talks about intrinsic motivation, the ability to delay gratification and stifle impulsivity to pursue a goal. As I stated, the school system uses carrots and sticks. If you do the work, you get a good grade. If you behave, you get a gold star. If you don't, you get detention. This actually erodes emotional intelligence because it teaches kids to look outward for validation. As parents, we build this domain by praising the process, not the result. When you see your child struggling with a difficult task, don't jump in and fix it. Validate the struggle. Say, man, you're really sticking with this even though it's hard. That's called persistence. That builds the neural capacity and circuitry for resilience. The reason this is essential is that we are trying to promote effort, not outcome. If you tell a child they're smart, they will not take risks because they do not want to disprove that theory. However, if we praise effort, they will take chances, learn from mistakes, and see growth as part of a complex learning process. And this takes us to section 4, empathy and social skills. This gets us to the external world. The final 2 pillars are empathy and social skills. This is where a child's EQ meets the world. In my recent video on helping kids make friends, I talked about how we shouldn't do the social labor for them. Goleman's research backs this up. Empathy is a muscle. It's developed through perspective taking. The reason this is important is that it's only when we slow down enough to empathize with another person that our brains sync with that other person's emotional state. We feel what they feel, and then by extension, respond with love and care. If one becomes skilled, they are seen as a trusted friend. Next time your child has a conflict with a peer, ask them, "What do you think Sarah was feeling when that happened?" Don't lecture, just wonder. And as for social skills, think of yourself as an emotional coach. Kids learn more from what you do than what you say. When you're frustrated in traffic, do you yell or grumble? Or do you say out loud, "I'm feeling really impatient right now. I'm going to take a few deep breaths"? You are the primary model for their social repertoire. When a person can take control of their emotional center, they build social skills and ultimately develop social capital. If you want to be a person of influence and be well thought of, take time to first develop your empathy and social abilities. This takes us to section 5, the critical window. Remember, Goleman emphasizes that EQ is orthogonal to IQ. That means they are independent. Your child can be a genius in the traditional sense and still fail at life because they can't manage their anxiety or work in a team. Conversely, a child who struggles with algebra but masters empathy and self-regulation will almost always find a path to success. We have to stop waiting for the school system to fix our children. They aren't broken. They're just being measured by a yardstick that doesn't account for their most important qualities, and those are based in EQ. So here's the conclusion. If you felt like your child has a hidden strength that their teachers just don't see, you aren't crazy. You're just looking at a different kind of intelligence. I want to hear from you in the comments. Which of Goleman's 5 domains does your child struggle with the most? Is it self-regulation or empathy for others? Let's start a conversation there. I'll try to respond to as many as I can. If this reframing helped you see your difficult child in a new light, please hit that like button and subscribe. We're still building that community of parents and educators who believe that there's more to a child than just a GPA. I'm Dr. Jonathan Strecker, author of Emergence, and I'll see you in my next video. Stay strong.